Hey everyone, welcome back. This is my review of Parasyte Episode 6. I gotta tell ya, if these cliffhangers keep up in this series, I'm going to have to start calling Madhouse the kings of fucking cliffhangers, okay? Because this week's cliffhanger, granted it wasn't nearly as bad as last week's cliffhanger was, but this week's cliffhanger was still pretty fucking bad, okay? Basically, Shinichi flew to a hospital in the town that his parents went to in order to see his dad in the hospital, because apparently his dad's still alive. And he ends up confronting apparently a human who has a parasite in him, or her, who Migi claims is probably his mother, but due to the brief figure that we do see, we don't get to see him or her completely, but due to the brief figure that we do see, I highly doubt that's actually his mother. It's probably just some other human who has a parasite inside of him or her, okay? But either, alright, but seriously, that fucking cliffhanger was kind of asshole-ish, once again, okay? And am I the only one who thought that Miki girl was actually gonna get killed, okay? Obviously, I can't blame this on her because she's completely ignorant about these, parasites, obviously. But she basically started running after Shinichi when Shinichi was running after the other parasite. Okay, and I thought for sure that she was gonna get killed in this episode by the fucking parasite, like she was gonna get impaled or decapitated or torn to shreds or whatever. But I mean, and the death flags are definitely still there. Like, I'm not saying that they're gone completely, because they're definitely not, okay? But still, I thought for sure that she was going to get killed in this episode. The death flags were so fucking huge because of that. Like, I've seen this type of stuff in anime before, so yeah. But anyways, though, that cliffhanger, wow. So lots of really great things about this episode, though. A really great thing is actually seeing the scene with Shinichi and his dad. And this actually is kind of combined with all of the other sad scenes with Shinichi in this episode, which were most of them, which is that the scene's definitely, the scene's been dark pretty much from the get-go, but the scene's been getting really dark. It's starting to get really dark in this episode, even darker yet, rather. Okay, and it really makes me happy too, okay, because seriously, Shinichi finally realizes that his mother really turned into a parasite. Basically, if you remember in the last episode, he was basically living in denial, which is why his mother impaled him. He literally denied the entire thing. Okay? And when he wakes up, completely healed thanks to Migi, he thinks it's just a dream at first, but it quickly dawns on him that no, it was not just a dream. That actually happened. He gets a call from the hospital in the town where his parents went, and so he flew over there immediately to see his dad. Okay, and then that brings me to the scene with him and his dad. His dad like the police officers were trying to convince him that it was all just a dream, because apparently his wife had been spotted again at some sort of a hotel. I'm not sure if it was the same hotel that Shinichi went to stay at or not, and he himself obviously is living in denial right now, just like Shinichi was in the last episode. Okay, he truly wanted to believe that his wife was still alive. However, Shinichi could obviously tell by looking at him that his mother, or that he knew that his wife was dead. Okay, but he just didn't want to believe it, and it was such a sore topic at that moment, obviously, that he just didn't want to talk about it. Okay, it's understandable. Alright. So yeah, so the feels in this episode are really fucking high, and I'm sure that at this rate I can tell that they're probably going to get even higher yet. Okay? Because seriously, the feels are so fucking high in this episode, god damn it. But anyways though, other than that, we also got a little bit of a weakness for Migi revealed in this episode, because apparently when Migi revived Shinichi, he had to attach himself to his heart in order to do that, okay? And when he did that, Migi basically, for some reason, I don't think it was properly explained in this episode, right? But for some reason, he went. Every once in a while, he'll fall asleep for 4 hours, and he cannot control that. And before, when he fell asleep, he would still be able to sense nearby parasites within 300 meters. Okay, not sure how that is in miles, but within 300 meters, so he could wake up instantaneously and tell Shinichi about them. Okay. However, when he's asleep now for some reason, which again I don't think was properly explained in this episode, he actually can't. So for those I'm guessing, I'm guessing he'll go to sleep for 4 hours every now and then, but for the rest of the time he'll constantly stay awake. All right. But while he's asleep for every one of those 4 hours, Shinichi's life is actually in mortal danger. Okay. Like, honestly, it is. Because obviously Shinichi can't sense parasites, and at least we haven't been able to see him do it so far, and Migi won't be able to sense him while he's asleep, so his life will be in mortal danger there. However, so will Migi's, which is why it really shows, not character development yet, but hints towards character development for Migi, because seems like Migi's trying to trust Shinichi a lot more, because that's also a huge, weakness revealed for Migi, because if Shinichi wanted to, he could just lob off his own fucking arm now when Migi's asleep, and he'd be able to do nothing about it, and he'd be rid of Migi. Sure, he'd have one less arm, but he'd still be rid of Migi finally. So I guess that does go to show that Migi is at least attempting to trust Shinichi a little bit more. Whether he actually wants to or not, or just because of their current situation, who knows. But another thing that tells me he's probably going to end up trusting Shinichi completely later on in the series, though, is that when Shinichi almost died, I'm pretty sure that Migi could have escaped from Shinichi and found another host nearby, okay? There was plenty of them, okay? Just saying. I'm pretty sure that he could have done that, but he didn't. He decided to repair Shinichi instead, which tells me that, Migi did say that it was for his own life as well, but again, I'm pretty sure he could have escaped from Shinichi and found another host, like I just said. So, yeah, that's another hint that later on in the series, he'll probably, I'm pretty sure it's another hint that later on in the series, he'll probably start trusting Shinichi a lot more, if not completely, okay? So, yeah, so that was also really cool. Let's see here. Other than that, Shinichi's personality is starting to change as well. I knew that this was going to come. I could sense it already, but his personality is definitely changing. Migi is changing his personality. He's becoming a lot more hostile and angry, especially after coming to the realization that his mother actually did die and that there's actually is a parasite controlling her, okay? Or taking control of her body, rather, okay? Also, when that girl, before he left his hometown, when, I forget what her name is, that the main female who seems to have feelings for Shinichi, when she tries to talk to him when he's running off to the airport, he turns around quickly and looks at her with this weird face, almost as if he was going to explode at her or attack her or something. But instead he didn't. He stopped himself right away, prevented himself from doing it, and then just turned around and ran away again. Stopping and turning around again only to assure her that he will return. Which kind of tells me that they probably will end up falling in love with each other later on in the series. So, okay, well, they obviously have, but get together, start dating and whatnot. Okay. Shinichi also has a difficult time this episode because he really wants to tell his father about the parasites, but he can't because Migi will kill his father then. So he's thinking, maybe I'm thinking that maybe he'll need to gain Migi's trust completely before he'll be able to actually do that, because it's really killing him inside to not being able to tell his father the truth when he knows the complete truth. Like Shinichi, he knows the complete truth, obviously. Well, not the complete truth, but he knows about the parasites, basically. He fucking has one and he's fought them before. So, yeah. But anyways, though, Other than that, I really fucking enjoyed this episode. Like always. It's getting even darker. Like I said before in this review, the feels are so fucking high. I am anticipating greatness from this fucking series. I really am. Okay? Like, I think my favorite part about this episode, God, there's so many great things in this episode, but I think my favorite part about this episode was probably the conversation between Shinichi and his father. Okay, just because that was handled so well, and it was so realistic because you could see clearly both of their point of views of that certain situation, and you understood them both completely, right? You understood why Shinichi's father felt the way he did, was living in denial, didn't want to talk about it, but you also understood why Shinichi, on the other hand, wanted to tell his father about it, but he couldn't. He wanted to confirm to his father that his mother really did die, but he couldn't, and whatnot. You understood them both completely. Okay, so that was actually my favorite part about this episode, but everything else was great as well. You know, the animation as always, the music as always. So yeah, but anyways, if you have yet to see this week's episode of Parasyte, then I definitely recommend that you do. I cannot wait for next week's episode, okay? Like, it's getting so fucking good, and I cannot wait to continue the series. So anyways, overall, hope you enjoyed this review, guys. See, that's you guys. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.